Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Durdam and I am currently a first year PhD student in University of Regensburg, Germany. So today's video is going to be about how to prepare a successful motivation letter or a cover letter when you are applying for your educational applications abroad, especially in Germany. So it doesn't matter if you are a bachelor student or a master student or a PhD or a postdoc. These documents you will require in every application, and you have to prepare them in a way that you actually get some response from the employer or from the lab wherever you are applying. And this video is going to be a bit long because there are lots of information that I have to cover in this video, and I suggest that before starting out you take a piece of paper and pen with you or any notebook and jot down few points, important points, which you can use later for a reference when you are preparing your own application. So I have prepared some points which I'll be going through one by one. So without further ado, let's get started. So the most difficult part is to actually start writing this document, because जब हम लिखने बैठते हैं तो समझ ही नहीं आता कि कहाँ से शुरू करें, where to start, and whether you mention your MSc master's experience, or you explain some research project that you have done, or you explain some I don't know, some workshops or conferences that you attended which really helped you. So the best thing to start this is that you make a certain format. आप एक format बनाओ and divide your complete letter into certain parts. So you should write everything into continuous paragraph, like single paragraph. You make it into 4 or 5 paragraphs at most. So आप इसको ज़्यादा, so you don't try to limit it to 4 or 5 paragraphs. So the first paragraph, or it should be very small, like 2 to 3 lines at most, and उसमें आप mention करिए कि what position you are applying for, like what is the purpose of this motivation letter or cover letter. So the first paragraph should explain why you are for what position you are applying. So you can write something like I'm writing to express my interest to join so and so position in your lab, and that's it. Don't make it like big. It should be like 2 or 3 lines at most. You can start with something like this. And so this is just the first intro paragraph that tells the reader what you are applying for, basically. So moving on, in the second paragraph you can then mention your academic details, what you studied in your master's degree. If you're applying for a PhD position, you can explain what did you study for your master's program, and not very detailed. So you don't need to go into detail of each and every subject that you studied in each semester. So just you can explain some particular subjects which are relevant to the field that you are to the project in which you are applying. So for example, if the project is related to, let's say, cancer research, so then you can talk about if you have studied some subjects like cancer biology, or something related to some techniques, so microscopy techniques or computational techniques that you know about, that you have studied in your field, and relate everything to that particular project. So I've studied these subjects, and these will be really helpful for the project, to implement the project, and so on. Now when you are explaining about the coursework or the subjects that you studied in your master's degree or your bachelor's degree, so you need to make it in a flow, like you are relating everything that you're saying to the actual, how it is going to help you in your research work or in the project that you are applying for. Okay, so make sure don't go into too much depth. Don't start explaining about all the subjects that you studied from semester 1 to semester 6. Just discuss 1 or 2 subjects that are that shows that you developed the necessary skills that are required for the project for which you are applying, and that's it. So this will be your second paragraph. In the third paragraph, you can discuss some important conferences or workshops that you have attended, and don't go into explaining all the workshops. Again, don't go into too much depth, but you can explain 2 or 3 very important workshops. And a very important tip is that, so this I also used. For example, there was an EMBL project. EMBL is a very reputed research institute in Germany. So I attended a workshop that was in collaboration with an Indian institute and EMBL. So it was happening in some city in India. So I mentioned that particular project, because then it tells the reader that you attend scientific conferences, that you have interest to attend, to listen to scientific lectures and ideas of the people who are at the frontier of this field, and you are in touch with the scientific community and latest ideas. So you can discuss the topics that were covered in these workshops, conferences. And if you had, for example, this I used also. So for example, when you are attending workshop, there are breaks. Yeah, so in between the breaks, if you got a chance to interact with one of the speakers and you talked about some ideas and you discussed something, and that really is something that shows you that you are willing to go, that you should definitely mention that into your motivation letter, because that shows that you just not attending workshop just for getting a certificate or something, but it shows that you are really connecting to the speakers and what they're talking about, and you are willing to share your ideas, talk about your ideas. So again, don't go into too much depth. So far, if you have made it, then you are in towards the final part of the motivation letter. So here you are maybe at the 4th or 5th paragraph, something like this. So here you should really, so this last paragraph, it's about you. It should talk about you. So in the rest of the letter, before the last paragraph, you have talked everything about your experience, your skills, and how what topics motivate you, and how you explored the topics, and so on. But the last paragraph should be about you, why they should select you, why you are the correct candidate on which they are going to spend money. Yeah, so you have to convince them that you are the correct fit for this project, for their lab or something. So you have to really use affirmative sentence, like, I firmly believe that this position is an excellent opportunity for me to deepen my knowledge and to explore my research interest into more depth, and so on. So you have to convince the reader that yes, you have the confidence, and you will be a good fit. If you have made it so far in the video, many congrats. So there are now 2 cases that you might end up. So if you have followed all the steps that I told you, then you should have ideally 4 to 5 paragraphs. That's what should be the length. It should not be too lengthy. But now if you have written a lot into it, that's fine. If you are starting out first and the first draft version could be really long or could be really short, it doesn't matter. It matters is that you have started and you have actually prepared something. Now you have to work on it again and again. You read it and then you go back into the project, you read the requirements of the project, and then you come back what you have written on your motivation letter, and you see that how you can improve it. And once you have gone through all these 4-5 paragraphs, you have prepared it, you can use this as an ending, last line, something like this. So you should really so you can use something like, I appreciate the time and efforts that you invested in accessing my application, and I'm hoping to your prompt response. So this shows that you are respecting the time of your reader, because he or she might be having tens of applications to go through, and this one line that shows you that you are respecting the time of the reader. So you can use this. I use it sometimes. If not, that's completely fine. It won't really impact your application, but I personally use it, so it's up to you. I'll summarize everything up. These are some of the ideas or points that you can talk about in your motivation letter. You have to explain the background of your topic. Now you have to talk about the topic or the project related topic for which you're applying. So for example, it's cancer. Again, I'm talking about cancer because I'm myself working into cancer. So but for any other field, like if you are a law person or an economic person, or you can talk about something else related to your field, but it applies to your field as well. So how you can know about the background is that a very good idea is that you read research papers. So you can go to pubmed.com or Google Scholar. You will get lots of research papers in that. But now the question is that how many research papers should you read? I would suggest that you can read like 1 or 2 papers depending on your time, and discuss the techniques which people are using these days, and a research gap. How would you answer this? So one tip is that, which I also use very often, is that read review articles from Nature or Science or Cell. Read review articles, latest review articles published within last 1 year, and in their discussion part or the introduction part, you will get an idea like what is going on, because review articles really are, I think, a gold mine for research ideas. Because review articles, the authors, they themselves go through several research articles, and then they summarize that into one research article that will tell you everything about all of those research articles. And in the discussion or in the conclusion part, you will get they will definitely discuss about what can be done further. Important thing is that obviously they would not expect you to know everything. You are just a master's or a bachelor student, but by discussing some of these points, by using these points into your application, you will really show them that you have done some of your own research, and you're just not talking into the thin air. Okay, so now that's the overall structure, divided into 4 to 5 paragraphs. Use a font size that is readable enough, use good spacing, use appropriate formatting. Finally, I know this was quite a long video. We have reached towards its end. So the final suggestion is that nobody is going to write these documents for you. You have to prepare, you have to give time to prepare these documents by yourself, because you are the best person to explain your research work, your interest of research. And starting with these documents is a bit tough. For myself, my own experience is that when I was starting out my applications, it took me about a month to even reach to 1 paragraph. So I went through many sample templates or how people wrote online, and then I read through them. I will try to upload videos on a weekly basis, but sometimes due to PhD work I might not be able to, but I'll try my best. If you liked the video, found the content useful, hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel. That really helps it. And also you can try to hit the this bell notification icon. Sorry, I'm quite new to this, so I'm still learning how to do this video stuff. But anyway, if you have any comments or questions, drop them in the comment section below, and I will reply to them. If you want me to cover some points, some topics in further videos, please mention them in the comments. I will try to make those talk about those topics as well. So that's it for this video. Stay tuned. I'll see you next time.